If you use text, images, or files inside of your shortcut, then you should be using Data Jar. Today, I'm going to give you a walkthrough of Data Jar, but more importantly, I'm going to share with you some projects so you can not only see the power of Data Jar, but just to get those juices flowing with your creativity and some of the cool ways you can be using Data Jar. All right, so the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to navigate over to the App Store. And we're just going to take a look at Data Jar. Now, I already have it installed, but if you don't have it installed, this is the app right here. This is what you're going to be downloading. And basically what this app does in a nutshell is it allows us to create some advanced lists as well as pull in text, images, and other text files into shortcuts to be able to do other things with it, which is really, really cool. So once you download it, we can move on to the very next step. I'm actually about to open up Data Jar inside of mine. So I can just type in Data Jar, click on there. And this is Data Jar right here. Now, the cool thing about Data Jar is it's really, really simple to understand. You see these right here? If we click right here, you can see it's 100% free. You don't have to pay anything. I recommend you donate to the creator because honestly, I want him to continue to update the app, keep it. So you do have a tip jar right here if you want to do it. And I will give him another tip just because I really do like this app that much. And hopefully if you use it and you like it, you'll give him a tip as well. I'm not affiliated with him. I honestly don't even know who he is, if I'm being completely honest with you. He just created an awesome, awesome app. Now, really quickly, I want to give you an overview of the app. So we can click right here, click this plus sign right here, and text is right here. So right here, we can put in text down here. Our key is what we can use when we want to call on it. So we can say something like demo. And then down here, we could put, this is pretty cool stuff. And now if we want to pull this text and do something with it inside of shortcuts, we can. We also have numbers. So we can use numbers. We can do some math with it if we want to. Boolean is just true or false. We can click right here to pull in a file. This right here is our list, which is pretty cool. And then we have our dictionary, which is a more advanced list, basically. So we're going to come back over here to text because, I mean, honestly, that's it for Data Jar. So we're going to click right here. You can see where we created that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to jump over to shortcuts. And I'm actually going to scroll down to my playground that I have for shortcuts. And right here, what I want to do is I want to type in Data Jar. And when we click right here, we can see everything we can do with Data Jar. What we more than likely want to do is we want to get value. And again, if you're new to shortcuts, you can always click on the I. It gives you a really quick, brief explanation of what it does. So in this case, we're just going to grab it. And our value, if I'm not mistaken, was demo. But let's say I don't remember the value, which I'm not 100% sure that was the value. We can always come right here, right click, and we can say copy value. Then we can come back over here and we can just say Command V. Well, actually it didn't copy the value, it copied, we want to copy the key. So I'm going to say copy. And let's see if it worked this time. All right. Great, it worked this time. I could say enter. And now I could click down on this and it says if it does not exist, I could do something else, but I'm not gonna do that. This is just if I wanted some like a template for a placeholder or something like that. Now, what I can do is I can click over here and I can say show result. And this is just something that allows you to see what shortcuts is doing if you're not 100% sure what's going on. So I could just put that right there. It's gonna automatically do it. Now when I click play, you can see it says this is pretty cool stuff. So this brings us to the very first project I wanted us to create. What I want to do is show you how you can create you a virtual business card, because lately people have been asking me, do I have a business card? And honestly, I don't. So I took the time out to create me a virtual business card using Data Jar. So I'm going to show you how you can create one as well. Basically, it's going to produce a QR code. You let someone scan it, and that your information automatically goes into their contact list, which is pretty cool. So let me show you how that's going to work. All right, now, if you're not familiar with VR codes, we're going to start with Safari. So I'm going to actually open up an instance of Safari right here. And we're just going to type in, so we're going to click right here, which I'm sure you can't see this because it's so small, but the link will be in the description area below. And basically what we're doing is, if you've never seen this before, This shows you basically what it should look like. Don't use this because this is incorrect, but I will link up how it's supposed to look in the description area below. So if you want to, you could just go down there, keep it simple. So I'm gonna call this a demo VCARD. And basically what I'm gonna do is it tells you right here that your values, and let's see if we can move this over a little bit just to make it a little bit more easy for you to read. So this tells you right here that our values have to begin and end with, it has to begin with VCARD and it has to end with VCARD, and version must be followed right after this. So an easy way to do this, if you want to, is what I did was I came up here, I copied this, and the reason why I copied this is because honestly it was easy enough for me to do. And then I deleted out all this, because I didn't need any of that. One, it doesn't work. Well, it didn't work for me, I should say. At the time you get it, they might update this wiki and it works again, but this is all we need. We're gonna make sure ain't no spaces in it because it does add in spaces. So this is what I want right here. And the next thing I wanna do, first thing first, is I need my name. So I'm gonna come down here and I'm gonna look for where the labels say name. And I know that's in, which is right here. So basically all I did was copy this right here. I'm gonna copy it. Or if you want to, you can come down, you can see right here where it says name undefined. That will not work. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna paste it right here. I'm gonna go backspace, and I can leave this as John Doe. So notice Doe is the last name, John is the first name. Then after that, next thing I want is my telephone number. That would make sense, which is right here. So I would just copy this right here. I'm gonna copy that. Then I'm gonna paste that right there. We can leave that phone number as is, but you would obviously put in your real phone number right here. The next thing I wanna do is do my email address, because everybody might not wanna call. So I would come through here. I'm just scrolling up to see where what the email tag is. So at this point, let's see here, email is right here. We can see it actually works with our version of it. So I could just come over here. I can copy this. I could paste that right there. And I could call this, I could say, instead of Hotmail, I could say Gmail. And then after that, I could drop down. And the last thing I might want to put in is my birthday. So right here, I would copy this entire tag, and I would paste it right here. Now, because I might not want to give somebody my year, I would just say, just type in 4 zeros, and that's just gonna give it a 1, but that would give them the March 10th without the year, all right? So now, that would be my text, and this is my code, so I would say save. And now I would come over here and say demo card. I would say copy key, and let's open back up this right here. So now what I want to do is I would come over here and I would delete that out. I would say paste. And now what I could do is I could just say play, and it's going to show me that, okay, that's it. Now the only thing I need to do is say generate. I would just type in QR code. So that's this right here, generate QR code, and that's it. Now if I click play, I now have a QR code that I can scan. And the cool thing about this is I'm able to hold my phone in front of it and make sure that it scans. Your battery level is currently 86%. That's when automations go wrong, but I took my phone off charger, that's why I did that. But what I could do is I can easily just scan this with my phone now. So I'm gonna record my screen. All right, now that my screen is recording, I'm gonna open up my camera. I'm just gonna point at it, and you can see it says John Doe. When I click on it, you can see all his information comes into my phone. You can see it say March 10th, and it just say 1, you can see. And then they're able to click on add to existing or create new contact. It's pretty cool stuff. Now, the next thing I want to show you that it can do, now that you see that it can, help you generate QR codes by creating a business card, what if we wanted to grab this picture right here and hold on to it? The next one I want to show you is how we can save this. So I'm going to actually grab my finger, and you can see it gives me information on the side. I'm gonna click on share. Well, actually I could have just clicked share up here, and I'm gonna say save image. Now what I want to do, which brings us to our next project, is I can move this to the side. I can add a new one, and instead of During the text, I can say, okay, let's just do file. And I'm gonna say photo library. And then I'm just gonna grab that one. And up here, I could say VCARD image. I'm gonna say image because I already have one label. So I'm gonna say save. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna say VCARD demo. I'm gonna say demo image. I'm gonna say save. Seriously? Oh, photo name already exists. So I have to change this. So I'm gonna say VCARD demo image. There we go. Now I can save that. And now we have it right here. Now, the cool thing about this is right here is I'm going to open up a new one. I'm gonna open up a new one. I could duplicate this and we're just gonna change out. I'm gonna actually delete that. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna right click over here. We're gonna say copy key. And then over here, I'm gonna right click and I'm gonna say paste, which gives me my new key. And then over here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click show result. Now, show result is because this is gonna be an image. So when I click play on it, an image should pop up as you see. And if we grab my phone again, and let me click record again really quickly. All right, as you see, John Doe pops up again and all his information. And if I click create new contact, it's automatically created, which is pretty cool. And we can add as much stuff as we want. So now we see two things. We see that we can add in, we can pull in any text we want. The key value is what we use inside of Shortcuts to get value. We see we can also just pull in an image, which is right here. Now, the next thing I want to show you is how to pull in files. All right, so really quickly, we're gonna open up the files app and I'm going to say new file. So I'm gonna say 000 demo, just so it could be at the very top all the time. This can be my folder when I'm doing demos moving forward. And I'm actually gonna delete that. And what I'm gonna do is I'm now gonna open up, let's say pretext. And we're going to add a file up in here. And this could be a text or a markdown. We can go a markdown just so you can see that it'll work. And I'm going to say demo data jar. Well, we could say data jar demo. All right, I'm going to say create. Then I'm just going to put something up in here really quickly. All right, so I just went over, grabbed some more and some text really quickly. And up here, I could just put how to get started with data jar. Now what I could do is I could say close. And now you can see that it's there. And now I can close this out as well because I don't need it anymore. And once we open this up, we can see data jar demo is there. So we don't need this anymore as well. So I can come back over here now and I could say add, I could say plus sign, I could say file, and I could just call this data jar demo since that's the name of the file. I would use this key to name it whatever the name of the file is, just me. That's what I would do. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say choose from file. I'm gonna say on iPad and I'm gonna grab this. And now you can see it's a markdown file. I could say save. And now what I can do is I can come back over here. And first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say data jar demo. I'm gonna copy the key and I'm gonna actually close out a data jar. I'm gonna come back over here. I'm gonna duplicate this again. I'm gonna open this up. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say paste. That's the new one. And if I wanna see if it worked, I could just click play and you can see I get all that information from that file. Now, if I want to get a little bit more carried away, I could say, what I can do is, say ask for input. And right here, I could say, So I put this as pretty cool stuff, right? So I'm gonna cut that. And then I'm gonna say something. Or what do you want to say? Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a text field. I'm gonna put it right here. I'm going to select this variable. Well, actually I could just put it right here. And then I could drop down a line, put it right here. And then down here I could say, until next time, will. And after that, I could say show preview. You know what? We're not gonna even show preview. We're gonna make it fancy. We're gonna say set name. All right, because I want to show you what you can do. So I'm gonna say set name, and we're gonna say, you know what? We're gonna make it even more fancy. We're gonna ask for ask for input. So we're gonna say ask for input. And we're gonna put that one right here. And we're gonna say what's the file name? And then down here, we're gonna say select variable. and we're gonna add that right there. We're gonna say .md, and then after that, I'm gonna say enter. Then we're gonna say save. We wanna save this new file. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn that off because we wanna be able to pick where we save that file at. So we're gonna navigate over to demo folder and we're gonna save it right here. All right, so now I wanna hit play. It says, what's the file name? We're gonna say something cool. We're gonna say done, say something cool, paste, and then we're gonna say done. We're gonna say always allow, and you can see where it's been added. Now if we go all the way to the bottom, we can see it says until next time. But that's not all. It saved that file as well. So if we go over to files, we can go over to the files app. Okay, it didn't open. So we're gonna click right here. And what we're gonna do is go to on my iPad, click on demo, and you can see it right here where it says something cool. And you can see this is the text file. So I hope you're starting to see how powerful, using data jar is. When it comes to text, images, and files, you should be using data jar hands down. Now, earlier I mentioned that, we are able to use advanced lists. So let me show you how that looks. But first, if you're enjoying this video, make sure you give me a thumbs up so I'll know that you enjoyed this type of content. Let me show you how this list works. All right, so I'm gonna close out of there and I'm gonna come back over here. And what we're gonna do this time is we're gonna get to use dictionary. So I'm gonna say dictionary, and I'm gonna say demo cool list, and I'm gonna say save. Now I'm gonna open that up. I'm gonna say add value, and I'm gonna click on list, and I'm gonna say, let's say something different than what everybody else do. So I'm gonna say my desk. All right, I'm gonna say save. Now when we click, I might have done that too fast. So look what's going on. This is our dictionary. Now this is our first list, which is my desk. Now I'm able to say, okay, value, I'm using text. So I can say task cam because that's on my desk. I can open this up and I can say Ulanzi tripod because that's on my desk. I could say water bottle because that's on my desk. I could say iPad mini because that's on my desk. I can say iPad Pro because that's what I'm working with right now. I can say iPhone 14 Pro Max because that's on my desk. And I could say just a lot of other cool stuff, which honestly, this wouldn't make sense to be in a list, but we're gonna do it anyway. So that's one list. So what's on my desk? The next list we can do is we're gonna click on list and we're gonna change the name to, okay, let's say video, just in case. Let's say video tools, all right? Then we're gonna click into there because you can see there's nothing in that list. So we're gonna click into there. We're gonna say add. So we're gonna say camera bag, extra SD cards. We can say power bank. We can say extra mic. Can't forget about the ND filters. We can say backup camera. In this case, we can say ZV1 Mark II. And we can add as many as we want. Now that we have this, we have a dictionary that has what's on my desk and video tools. Now, what I can do is I can copy this. We're gonna copy the key. And now we're gonna come back over here, and I'm not sure if you want this, but I'll link it up below in case you want to play around with it or something like that. And what I'm gonna do now is, well, if I'm gonna link this up below, I probably should make it make more sense with the name. So I'm gonna say rename. I'm gonna say text file, and we can say data jar, just in case you wanna play with this. And the next one I'm gonna do is, what was this one that we did? These are pretty simple, but I guess if you want them, I'll link it up below, which I'm not gonna link this one up below because I can't see you needing this one. This is like a two-step process. In fact, we're gonna use this one right now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna paste this up in here. I'm gonna say enter. And now when I click play, what you're gonna see is it gives me all of this stuff. So this is how we know it's working, all right? So now what I wanna do is I wanna come over to choose from menu. Actually, I don't wanna choose from menu. I'm moving too fast. I wanna choose from list, all right? That's choose from list. We can turn on select multiple. And now what I wanna do is I click play. and you can see I get both of those. Now, here's the deal. If I click this one, I say done, it's just gonna show me everything in that list. If I click play again, and I say I need both of these and say done, and I click here, it's just gonna show me all of those items that I need. Now, this becomes powerful when you, let's say you have something like a task manager. So for the sake of argument, we're gonna use reminders since it's built in. We're gonna use reminders, but first thing we need is a split text. So basically we need to split this text to new line. After that, what we need is a repeat with each. And the reason why we need a repeat with each is just to make sure that each one, when we split it, it gets its own new line. Repeat with each is just our way of making sure it's coming in as a reminder, as a task. So when we go to reminders, we go add new reminder, drop it right there, and we're all set to go. We click right here, and all we have to do is click on select variable repeat item. And now what happens is when I click play, I can pick which one of these lists I need. I can have a ton of lists. It doesn't matter. I can have as many lists as I want, as many items as I want. This is why this is considered an advanced list, because you're using a dictionary. And within a dictionary, you can create as many lists as you want. Pretty cool stuff. So if I just want video tools, I just say done. Now you can see that if I come here, it created me just video tools. And you can see that it worked because each one is on its own line. If we pull up, let's see here, reminders right quick, you can see that each one of these is on its own line. So if I come over here and I delete them and we do it again, we're gonna just delete these right quick. Then we're gonna do it again. So now what I wanna do is I'm gonna say play again. And this time we're gonna do both of them. And I'm gonna say done. And again, we know it worked because we can click right here and we can see everything. This is everything on the list we need. If we come back over here, we can see here's everything, which is pretty cool stuff. So this is how you will create advanced lists. Now, I hope you enjoyed how to use data jar. Honestly, if you want to see some more tutorials or some more videos or some more surrounding data jar, just let me know below. I honestly did my very best to make sure I showed you the main parts of data jar, which is how you can use it with text, how you can use it with images, and how you can use it with lists, and really just level up shortcuts. Because honestly, when it comes to information, all your information should be stored in data jar. So that means it doesn't matter how many times you duplicate your shortcuts. You go to data jar and you update it in data jar, and every time you run that shortcut moving forward, is always going to have the newest, latest, freshest information up in there, which I honestly believe is really, really cool. So with that being said, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give me a thumbs up. If you want to see some more shortcut stuff, I recommend you watch this video next. Till next time, later.